Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 1st of October 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.7% today to 8,209 points. The big miners and banks were all lower, and when that happens, it's almost inevitable that the bourse ends up in negative territory. The miners fell back after all the excitement of the last week or so following a bunch of stimulus announcements in China. BHP finished down nearly 3%, while Fortescue Metals Group was off 3.5%. Now, BHP had jumped 15% in the previous 5 sessions, so the fall today wasn't a surprise. Rio Tinto fell 2.6%, while both Commonwealth Bank and Westpac were off at least 2.5%. The worst performer on the day was the Star Entertainment Group, which fell nearly 8% after it released its 2024 financial report, which included qualified support from its auditor based on expenses related to the new Queen's Wharf Casino precinct in Brisbane. Story number 2, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell spoke this morning saying the central bank will lower interest rates over time. He views the US economy as strong overall, with labour market conditions being solid and policymakers having greater confidence that inflation is on a sustainable path towards 2%. That helped the share market close higher, meaning the broad-based S&P 500 and tech-heavy Nasdaq both finished the September quarter better than where they started. It's the 4th consecutive quarter of higher returns. Meanwhile, Brent crude's trading just under $72 a barrel, probably a surprising that given what's going on in the Middle East, oil prices aren't actually higher. Gold's trading around $26.40 an ounce, and the Aussie dollar is worth 69.3 US cents. Story number 3, REA has abandoned its $12 billion bid for Rightmove after the UK listed real estate site knocked back REA's 4th bid in almost as many weeks. Investors welcome the news, including News Corp Chief Executive Robert Thomson, and REA's share price rose 4.5% higher. News Corp owns 61% of REA, and Mr. Thompson said it would be foolhardy for REA to pay any more for Rightmove. Rightmove is the dominant real estate platform in the UK, now under British takeover rules. A bidder has 28 days from when its interest becomes public to formalise an offer. That meant REA's deadline came overnight. REA blamed Rightmove's board for the bid's collapse, complaining of the directors' cursory and procedural contact, along with the lack of meaningful engagement. Story number 4, ABC staff have been subjected to systemic racism, including racial slurs, derogatory and offensive comments about their appearance, stereotyping and being mistaken for someone else because of their racial appearance, a report released today has found. Managing Director David Anderson issued an apology to employees, both past and present, who experienced racism after the taxpayer-funded broadcaster released its independent racism review today. He said anti-racism training will be rolled out at the ABC. After apologising, Mr. Anderson said the ABC needs to do better and is committed to zero tolerance for racism in the workplace. The ABC has implemented 15 recommendations, including that all staff read the report, improve diverse representation at management level, and better understand lived experiences by staff to help with storytelling and create culturally safe support systems. And story number 5, Sigma Healthcare has said it would bring in data sharing rules to help alleviate concerns by the regulator regarding its proposed $700 million merger with Chemist Warehouse. In June, the regulator flagged concerns that the merger could potentially harm pharmacies currently supplied by Sigma by allowing Chemist Warehouse to access those pharmacies' data in ways that could damage competition. To alleviate those concerns, Sigma has said it would allow franchisees to terminate their agreements and place restrictions on the use of confidential data from Sigma wholesale customers and franchisees for a period of 3 years, according to a report in the Fin Review. And the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission is now looking for feedback from stakeholders on whether the draft undertaking offered by Sigma may be capable of addressing the competition concerns. Sigma's share price jumped 25% today, easily the best of the top 200. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 1st of October 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.